Hey guys, normally when you construct a stack, it's either going to be based on your goals, and for a lot of people, the goals are aesthetic based. So they're going to pick compounds that's going to complement that. For example, they're not going to pick compounds that's going to bloat them up, right? And also for bodybuilding, there's an off-season stack, and then there's a contest prep stack that they do, and obviously there's goals involved in both of those, okay? But then there's also other stacks that are based aesthetics. It doesn't even matter. It's all about function. It's all about performance and lifting as much weight. So like strength training stack, and people who do that don't care about aesthetics, correct? So there's different compounds based on goals. I'm just going to start with that premise. But get this. What if I was to tell you that there's a stack that fits all of the above? Okay? There's a stack that you can still stay lean, still a dry look, and aesthetic look, but there's also, with the exact same stack, you can still make strength, size gains as well. Now, here's the kind of disclaimer. There's going to be some other ones that are going to be more ideal if you want to go one way or another, but I'm picking the middle road, okay? And this middle road this is why this is good, because it's balanced. This is a balanced stack where you can be totally aesthetic, but you're still making crazy strength gains, okay? And that's kind of where I'm at in my like hybrid bodybuilding strength approach. Like, to be honest, I'm not somebody who's super like hyper focused on like being like bodybuilders are in aesthetics. My goal mostly is strength, to be honest. But looking good is a good. It's functional as well to look good. I don't want to bloat the fuck up. I don't want to be like Michelin Man with gynecomastia. Okay. So in that sense, you got to pick the right compounds, and in doing so, the ones that are safe. So there's an effectiveness involved in both. There's effectiveness in both of those goals, aesthetic and strength. But as well, this is a safe one to do. Okay. So I'm just going to start by saying, obviously, if you're going the aesthetic route, a lot of the compounds that are traditionally used are obviously testosterone's the base, but you have trenbolone as one that's very aesthetic. You'll cut up, you'll burn body fat whilst gaining muscle mass. Equipoise, Primobolan, Masteron. Masteron's a dry look. So there's that side of things, okay? Anavar, Winstrol, Superdrol. On the strength side, Superdrol could be one of them. Obviously, high amounts of testosterone, where you don't care about bloating as much. Anadrol, Equipoise, Deca. There's a lot on the strength side that you could take for massive strength gains without caring about the bloating. D-ball even, like, I don't know. There's a lot of choices on both sides. Okay, so why don't we come to the middle and we pick a stack, because this is where I'm at. I don't know where you guys are at, but I kind of want to be strong whilst looking good at the same time. I don't want a totally dry look. I don't really care about that. I wouldn't want to compromise dryness and things with strength, with like losing strength. So here's my stack. I want you guys to let me know what you think about this. If this makes sense, okay? We'll get right to the point. 4 minutes into this video. Testosterone, 400 to 600. Because if you go above 600, you're going to run into bloating issues, like severe bloating issues, and then health consequences. Masteron, 400 to 600. NPP, 200 to 400. And then Anavar, 20 to 50 milligrams as an oral. Why did I pick this? Masteron is going to prevent the bloatingness from the excessive testosterone and NPP that you're doing. But it is also anabolic in itself. NPP is what's going to provide the strength, but you're not doing it in an excess where it's going to compromise your aesthetics. So right there, you have, it's like NPP and Masteron are kind of like the yin and the yang working together. Against each other, but with each other. This is like the duality, but this is part of the synergy that's happening here, okay? You could substitute NPP with Trenbolone, and obviously you're going to get both better strength and aesthetics at the same time. Don't get me wrong, but then you're going into more dangerous territory. Because if you have a stable relationship, like a wife, you might jeopardize that, okay? So it's not worth ruining your life or taking unnecessary risks, because when you do steroids, your risk behavior goes up, especially with Trenbolone, so I would avoid that one. NPP, there's the potential for anxiety, so you got to keep that in check. But NPP and Masteron, if you find the right balance between those two on top of the testosterone stack, man, it's a beautiful thing. And you'll be putting on strength gains easily at the gym without bloating, if you find that balance. So here's what I would recommend. You start with the NPP and the Masteron. About a month in, you add the Anavar. And then after about 6 weeks running the Anavar, because you don't want to run that more than 6 weeks necessarily, then you boost the testosterone and the NPP in that last part of the cycle, and you run this up to 4 months. If you do that while progressively overloading in your gym, like say you want to bring your bench press from, I don't know, 275 to 335 in your cycle, which is doable in this type of cycle. You do the progressive overload every week, adding 5 or 10 pounds to your bench, to doing like a 5x5 or a 3x3 or whatever you're doing. This video is not about that, like a structure of a workout routine structure through a cycle, but maybe I'll make one of those in the future. But if you do that and you stick to this, where you increase when you add the Anavar, and at the end you increase your testosterone and NPP, your strength is it's gonna be like a parabolic curve up, exponential curve. But you're not gonna do that exponential curve of growth of strength compromising the way you look. You're still gonna look good. Does that make sense? This is why this is smart. Now, instead of Anavar, you could add Anadrol if you want to go more on the strength side of things. That would be probably preferable if you're going if you really want to put on that, if you really want to get up to that bench press goal. But then you're compromised. You're going to bloat up. Your face is going to balloon up. Okay, so yeah, you're going to get that strength goal, but your aesthetics isn't going to be good. So that's why I'm saying Anavar is better, because you will get strength on Anavar. It's very anabolic, but you won't blow it up on them. So what are your guys' thoughts on that? There's a few other ones I could recommend. For example, instead of Masteron, you could run Primobolan. But I don't know if you guys watch my videos. I just like Masteron better. It just feels better. I think it's a superior compound in a lot of ways. But Primobolan's a good choice too. NPP substitute for that, I don't know. Maybe EQ. You could run EQ. I haven't run EQ, so I'm not going to talk too much about that. But there are other options on this. And if you have another one, leave in the comment section below, because that's what I want to promote, is the conversation of what other options are available. But I'm pretty sure the one I'm recommending is like top 3 and I know a lot of guys watching this, that's what your goal is. Your goal is to get stronger, but to look good as well. You're not going to compromise your look to get strong. And it's not only about looking good, it's about also hitting the gym and hitting PRs at the gym too. That's a great thing too. So if you're somewhere in between the middle like me, like, to be honest, like, I don't care. Like, sometimes I put on a little weight. I'm not like totally trim. I really don't give a shit. I'm not like totally aesthetic, but I look damn good. I'll give you that. So it's okay. You can look good and still be making strength gains. You can still be bulking a little bit and put on mass and size while hitting those PRs. And then the Masteron is going to help you reduce the bloating as well on that. So in this sense, this is like kind of like a recomp. It's like an extreme recomp cycle, because you're making gains, but it's not like you're losing weight. You can still be putting on weight, but it's like you're not putting on bloating. You're not bloating up. So it's like recomping, but while it's getting stronger. And that's I think what a lot of guys want. I'm not gonna lie. I think a lot of guys want that. You want to put on the mask, but you don't want to bloat the fuck up. Am I right? Leave in the comment section below what your thoughts are on my idea here, on what the ideal cycle is for that. All right, guys. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.